Have you ever heard someone describe the pain of a heart attack? They often don't point to their chest. Instead, they might clutch their left arm, their jaw, or even their back. It's a strange and frankly, kind of terrifying phenomenon. How can a problem with your heart cause a shooting pain down your arm? This biological mix-up known as referred pain is one of the most fascinating and clinically important aspects of how our bodies communicate distress. It's like getting a text about a problem at home, but the message appears to come from your office phone. Understanding this process is not just for medical students. It's for everyone. Knowing that a nagging pain in your right shoulder blade might not be a pulled muscle, but a cry for help from your gallbladder can be life-saving. Let's break it down. Before we can talk about the pain, we need to talk about what's feeling the pain. Think of your body as a complex and bustling city. The visceral organs are the power plants, the water treatment facilities, the waste management systems, essential infrastructure tucked away inside your torso. These organs are housed within your major body cavities, the thoracic cavity, the heart, and the lungs. Move down into the abdomen, the stomach, the intestines, the liver, the pancreas, the gallbladder, and the spleen. Finally, the pelvic cavity contains the bladder, rectum, and reproductive organs. These are the soft, internal workhorses that perform vital functions, often without you even noticing. Your brain filters out mundane background noise, only paying attention when signals indicate a problem. So when your stomach feels bloated after a large meal, or you feel a dull ache from your kidneys, that's your visceral sensory system at work. It's low resolution but highly important. So how do these internal organs send their messages? They use a specialized network of nerves known as visceral nerves. They are fundamentally different from the somatic nerves that supply your skin and muscles. Visceral nerves aren't good at sensing a cut or a burn. Instead, they are highly sensitive to stretching, inflammation, ischemia, or chemical irritation, signals that mean something internal is seriously wrong. When you have appendicitis, the appendix stretches and triggers visceral nerves. If a kidney stone blocks the ureter, stretching causes immense pain. These nerves are part of the autonomic nervous system, the same system controlling heart rate and digestion, which is why visceral pain often brings nausea, sweating, or fainting. Visceral signals tend to be slow, dull, poorly localized, and diffuse because organs have far fewer nerve endings than skin, giving the brain a fuzzy picture of the problem. Now that we know visceral nerves detect the problem, how does that signal actually get to your brain to be perceived as pain? The impulse travels to the spinal cord, the main data cable to your brain. It travels along shared pathways rather than a private express lane. At the dorsal horn, the visceral fiber synapses onto second-order neurons that ascend to the brain. This handoff is a busy junction. Often the same second-order neuron also receives inputs from skin, muscle, or joints, a phenomenon called convergence. Think of one operator taking two different calls. From the spinal cord, the signal travels up the spinothalamic tract to the thalamus. The thalamus sorts the information and directs it to cortical areas where conscious perception arises. Once in the cortex, you feel the pain. Because the signal rode a shared pathway, the brain has to guess where it came from. Often it guesses wrong, leading to mislocalized or referred pain. This brings us to the core of the mystery: referred pain. Referred pain is felt at a different location because visceral fibers converge on neurons that also serve specific skin patches. Classic example: the heart. Visceral nerves from the heart enter the spinal cord primarily at T1 to T5. The brain may interpret a heart distress signal as coming from the left chest, the left arm, or the jaw. When the heart is deprived of oxygen, it sends a powerful distress signal that activates the same neurons as those skin areas. Another textbook case, the gallbladder. Its sensory information can travel with the phrenic nerve, which originates at C3 to C5, the same levels that supply the shoulder tip. Because of that shared origin, gallbladder pain is often felt in the right shoulder tip. Kidney pain is often felt in the flank or groin. Appendicitis can start as a vague ache around the belly button before localizing to the lower right abdomen. Diaphragm irritation may refer to the shoulder. To truly appreciate visceral pain, it's helpful to contrast it with somatic pain. Somatic pain is the pain you feel from your skin, your muscles, your bones, and your joints, like when you cut your finger or sprain your ankle. Somatic pathways are built for speed and precision. A prick to your index finger travels a dedicated pathway to a specific cortical spot. They let you react immediately, withdraw your hand, feel exactly where it hurts. Quality differs. Somatic pain is often sharp or stabbing, visceral pain is dull, aching, gnawing, or cramping. Somatic patients can point to one spot. Visceral patients gesture vaguely over an area. This is due to far fewer visceral nerve endings and convergent pathways, giving the brain a blurry signal. Visceral pain often triggers autonomic responses, nausea, sweating, faintness, and a deep sense of unease that signals a systemic threat. So why does all this matter? Why is it crucial for doctors and patients? To understand somatic versus visceral pain and the patterns of referred pain, because it saves lives. Example: a 55-year-old with jaw pain and odd left arm sensation isn't sent to the dentist. He gets an immediate EKG. That pattern recognition is critical. Clinicians build differentials that include internal organs even when pain seems musculoskeletal. Shoulder pain always a rotator cuff tear. It could be gallbladder or liver disease. Mid-back pain could signal pancreatic disease or even a dissecting aortic aneurysm. High-stakes possibilities. For patients, knowledge is power. If you have a new, persistent ache between your shoulder blades, don't dismiss it. Say it feels deep and strained, and mention any nausea or sweating. Specific, informed descriptions raise red flags and speed diagnosis, which can be life-saving. Vague, referred visceral pain reflects efficient wiring. Convergence in the spinal cord creates predictable referred pain maps doctors use to decode hidden danger. By decoding these signals, clinicians can uncover hidden dangers and initiate life-saving treatments. Listen to your body's alarms, describe them clearly, seek care early,